So my name is Jason Haloossim, here from Brilliant Directories, and also, of course, we have with us the amazing Patrick Brunelle with us today as well.
Hi everybody, great to be here as always. Really looking forward to this webinar Wednesday in particular. Lots of exciting new updates to share.
Yeah, something a little exciting. We are also streaming on Facebook Live today, so those of us who can join into the GoToWebinar, amazing. You can interact with us and ask questions, and those on Facebook Live can check out the presentation and listen to everything that we're talking about today. So just to introduce ourselves again, we have a lot of people who are joining us for the first time. My name is Jason, the co-founder here at Brilliant Directories. And Patrick Brunelle we're very, very lucky to have Patrick. He's our brand manager here at Brilliant Directories and responsible for a lot of the features that we see recommended by our customers.
Right, thank you, Jason. It's an honor to be here and be a part of this team. I definitely love what I do and get to work with everybody that's in this webinar and all our customers around the world.
Before we get started in the questions and answers like we've done in the previous sessions, there are a few updates that I do want to show you guys, some things that we've been working on. And just before that, again, for those of you joining, if you haven't yet joined our LinkedIn group, I highly recommend joining Brilliant Directories LinkedIn group. You can network and meet like-minded directory website owners, membership website owners, and what we like to do in that group is talk strategy. It's a little bit more than designing your site. It's more about how to turn your site into a better conversion tool for whatever your goals are with your directory website. So you can go to brilliantdirectories.com/LinkedIn to join our marketing strategy network there. And just not many ground rules, just one. The goal of this webinar is we'd like to answer as many questions as possible. And the goal is to show off the software for new and existing customers so you can better learn how the platform works and its capabilities. And the type of questions you can ask, we want to be fair to everyone. So we're going to try to focus and limit questions to one per person until we've let everyone have an opportunity to at least ask one question. And we're going to do our best to get to as many questions as possible. And my favorite part of the presentation is the deal of the week. So this deal of the week is actually, it's a pre-order for an add-on that we'll be launching next week. And this is for a Google Search Assist, and I'm going to show you exactly what this does. This is going to add a lot of value to your directory website. And what it does in a nutshell is this. So when visitors come to your site, they're going to want to search for members. And your site might be a hyper-local directory, or it may be a directory with all categories for all industries. I'm just going to do a search for dentist, and I'm going to do a search. And I obviously see my member results. This is our demo site, Demo Bootstrap. And so we get all the results for dentists. But what happens when there are no results? Normally, when there are no results, your website does something like this. I'm just going to put some gibberish in here and search. And you just get a simple message. Obviously, you can jazz this up if you want, but it says that there are no matches. With the Google Search Assist, I'm going to search for dentists in Alaska. I know there's no dentists in Alaska on this site. And when we do a search for dentists in Alaska, although there are no members on the site, what the system will do is at least show Google results based on what was searched. So this is going to give results for dentists in Alaska. And the real benefit about this is, especially when you're just starting your directory, is you might have a lot of categories and it might take a lot of time to fill those categories. So with the Google Search Assist, you can ensure that no matter what somebody searches on your site, it may not be the members on your site, but it will show them some results. And to a lot of people, depending on their age and their technical skills, they're going to think your website is just like a Google for the specific topics and industries that you're covering. So we can see dentists in Alaska here and so on and so forth. What's really nice about this is when somebody clicks on one of these links, it opens it in a new window. So they can always come back to your site and conduct another search. So let's do one more search. Let's search for beauty and spas, barber shops, and we'll do Alaska again. There's no real members on this website who offer barbershops in Alaska, but we can see we get beautiful Google results, and this is whatever Google thinks is related to the search that was done, related to what the user searched for. Now, besides providing results, this is actually really good for search engine optimization, and it's not because there's content on your site. This is really good because Google now more than ever is counting the user's experience on your website as to how they rank your website. So if a visitor comes to your site and gets 0 results and leaves your website right away, Google will not give your site as much value if the person stayed on your site and actually continued interacting with your website. So Google, again, is giving a lot of high value to sites that have better user interactions and user experiences. And this is really a way to give your users a better experience, as well as to get more page views, keep people on your site longer. And again, when you're starting out, a great way to fill your site with content, even though you don't have that many members. So that is the deal of the week. I'm super excited about that. It is a pre-order. It will be ready by the end of next week. It's going to be on sale, about 75% off. It's $90. Highly, highly valuable for any directory website. Go to brilliantdirectories.com/promo. And we had a contest winner last week. Pat, I think you randomly chose the contest winner this week, right?
That's correct. The winner is Gregory. We're excited to let you know that you've won a free Google Search Assistant. So the new update that Jason just did a great job of presenting, you get one of those add-ons for free to use on any of your websites. All you need to do is email in to support@brilliantdirectories.com to claim your prize, and we'll take care of you and make sure we get that set up.
And we have a contest of the week for this week. This is your chance to win another prize. We had great prizes the last couple times. All you have to do is, this would be a LinkedIn post this week. Just share on LinkedIn, I'm using Brilliant Directories to power my membership website, and check them out here and put brilliantdirectories.com, and make sure you register for next week's webinar and tune in. I guess Greg didn't tune in this week. We'll make sure we get in contact with him, but that way you can claim your prize, and we'll reveal what the prize is next week as well. So yeah, just go to your LinkedIn account, post this. I'm using Brilliant Directories to power my membership website, and that will automatically enroll you into the contest where we will randomly choose a winner next week. All right, so now we're going to get into the fun stuff. Again, before we open it up to the Q&A, I just want to show some new features that are available on Brilliant Directories, and I will try to make it as brief as possible. So here's the Google Search Assistant. Again, I think it's a fabulous addition to any website. The first feature I wanted to show you that we've added is you now have the ability to have sidebars on your sign-up pages. And let me show you exactly what I'm referring to. So right now when your members want to sign up to your website, and we can go to products, and let's just go to a sign-up page. So let's sign up as a premium member here. So this is a site you can sign up, and the registration form is centered on the page, which is super nice, works perfectly, looks elegant. But in some cases you might want to add some boosters or confidence boosters to the sign-up page. So now when you edit a product, you just go to Manage Products, and you can edit any one of the products. You actually have two options here to sign-up page sidebar, and it'll automatically populate with the sidebars you have in your sidebar manager. So we'll just choose one of the sidebars we have. Obviously you can create a sidebar just for your checkout pages, and you can also choose the alignment. So we'll align this sidebar on the right. And if we go here and refresh the page, Well, it moved to the left. I don't think there's any items in there. Let me add one that does have a sidebar. Here we go. Some items in the sidebar. So here's the sidebar area here. There we go. It doesn't look like there's too many items in the sidebar here, but this will populate with whatever widgets you have in your sidebar, and you can toggle it to the left or the right. So this becomes incredibly valuable. This is available to everyone on their Bootstrap sites with Brilliant Directories. And you can now create some widgets with some confidence boosters to kind of give people that extra push, or you might want to put some upgrade offers here. So if someone's signing up to a lower priced membership level, you might want to give them an incentive to sign up to the premium plan and put a link there to go to the premium sign up page. So these are just some things that you can do with that. Another update I wanted to show you guys, this is more of a convenience factor, and it's related to your menus. So if we go to Toolbox and go to your menu manager, you now have, it seems like a simple thing, but now you have the ability to clone your menu items. So you can, if you wanted to duplicate your pricing page, you can simply clone the pricing page. And
we actually had somebody asking a question, Jason, just about that. They wanted to have two pricing pages, one for general users to sign up different accounts and one for actual businesses, and they're asking how to create a second pricing page. So this new update you're announcing makes it really easy to do what took the longest in the past, which was to create a menu from scratch. Now you're able to duplicate what's already there and just customize it to your needs.
That's right. And before, so you can have your different membership levels. We've also created a clone here. So instead of recreating, all these, if you're going to create another membership level and having to add individual links over and over and over again, you can now clone, for example, your premium level, and it'll copy everything in there. And then once it's cloned, you can make the changes that you want. So this is more of a convenience factor. And the last thing I want to show you before we get started, I think Steve in last week's webinar wanted, it's better if I just show you guys. On your Brilliant Directories sites for the member categories, you do get a page called /categories, and it basically lists all your top and sub-level categories. And based on a recommendation from last week, we've implemented an option where your sub-categories will show in a drop-down toggle, and this is automatically on everyone's website. So before, all these categories would just be bundled together here in alphabetical order. So fine dining would be mixed with all of these, but now they're nice and tidy and they're kept better organized, and it'll be easier for your website visitors to find subcategories in the content that they're looking for. So thank you for that recommendation last week, and thank you special shout out to Jeffrey Wyatt, who's in charge of all the operations of our development at Brilliant Directories, and the development team and the coaches at Brilliant Directories who help with all the customer support. They keep the wheels turning to help us pump out awesome features like this. All right, great stuff. And now we will pass it over to you guys and start answering some questions. Michael, are you there with us?
Yes, how are you?
Good, Michael. Where are you calling in from?
Australia, Melbourne.
Melbourne. All right, Australia. Do you currently have a site with Brilliant Directories, or are you just checking us out?
Yeah, I've had one for maybe a year, a bit over a year.
Okay, great. And what's your question you have for us today?
Is there anything in the works for coupons or discount links and things like that?
Yes. So what Michael is asking for is being able to create a coupon code. So when members sign up to your site, they'll be able to enter the coupon code. This has been highly requested, as well as free trial periods for some of your paid accounts. It is in the works. I don't have an exact time frame on it. I'd like to say a month, but I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, you'll be able to create coupon codes, and users will be able to sign up to your products with those coupon codes and get the discounts.
Beautiful.
All right, great. Easy question there. All right, we have someone on the line called the Jefferson Chronicle. You guys there, the Jefferson Chronicle?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi, yeah, what's your name there?
Kevin Patke.
All right. Where are you calling in from?
New Jersey.
Okay, and what's your question for us today?
Per your advertising system, are you going to have, I don't know if you're familiar with ad rotate on WordPress, but are you going to have an advertising system that's more advanced as far as like the user, the website owner selling advertising on their own, and we could schedule in like per se 8 inventory spots from like local businesses to advertise instead of just one graphic per slot?
Yeah, that's a good question. So right now, to manage banner ads with your Brilliant Directories site,
Right.
it's basic, but you do have a few options that might work for you. So right now with the banner ads, you know what they're mentioning is you can put one image and one link, and that's pretty much it. The alternative also is you can actually put some custom embed code, and you just, you put your Google AdSense code here or AdRoll or wherever you're getting code from. What I would recommend is there is a platform called Ad Butler.
Okay.
And I think it's extremely well priced. It's really affordable, if not free, to use it, the basic version of it. And what this lets you do is you can put those different ads that you want to rotate or show based on impression, and then Ad Butler will give you the embed code, and you can just put that embed code in one of your slots here for your ads, and it'll just render the settings you've created in Ad Butler.
And basically, Jason, just to add on top of that, it's essentially like if you wanted to have a system that would track all of your website visitors, seeing what pages they're on, where they're from. Google Analytics has the most robust platform out there. Google Analytics focuses entirely on that functionality. So there's no sense in Brilliant Directories recreating what Google Analytics already has. So what Jason is sharing are softwares that focus 100% on what it is you're looking to accomplish. So using their platform to manage those ads and using an embed code and placing it in the ads manager in the Brilliant Directories platform is definitely the best way to go here.
Okay, great. Because we had our directory with you. We shut down that site, and recently in my community we just started a huge news digital operation, and I was thinking of moving it from WordPress to the directory with you because I have a lifetime license with it. It's just sitting there doing nothing, and that was the only major concern. Is 75% of our revenue comes from selling our own ads in the community, so that was holding me back from it. I didn't know if I could only sell one spot per section, or I'd have to do membership, and the community wasn't really feeling paying membership for the site because we're fairly new. So that's definitely helpful. So thank you very much.
Perfect. And one last note on that. Don't forget, in the finance managed products area, you don't just create products for different membership levels. You can create a one-time pay product for an advertiser or something like that. So you can create a buy link for basically anything.
Oh, that would be even more helpful, because there's a lot of education you have to provide to businesses nowadays on how to sell advertising. A lot of them are still stuck in the print world. They don't understand what digital means, and then if you send them an invoice through PayPal, they get even more confused. And so a buy link definitely is useful, just to list everything and have them purchase it right away.
Exactly. Just call it what it, I mean, this is general user, but you can say like 30-day sidebar banner advertisement, and then they just pay from right here.
Excellent.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, great question there. Thank you very much. Let's see. Denise, are you there? Denise, we've unmuted your microphone.
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Definitely can hear you. Where are you calling in from today?
I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay, great. And do you have a site with Brilliant Directories, or are you just checking us out for right now?
No, I have a site. I haven't done much with it because I've been trying to figure this out. I'm a newbie. So one of my questions is, since you talked about widgets, we have one that helps consumers determine if they are eligible for the CDC prediabetes prevention program. We work with lifestyle practitioners and doctors. What I wanted to know was, based off of that widget, and they are eligible for the services, is there any way for us to match them then with those practitioners who are providing that service?
So you're saying when consumers come to the site to properly match them with the members who offer that service?
Correct.
All right, I think that's in Pat's wheelhouse there, actually.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to take a look at that. Is there a website that we can look at?
As far as, I don't have it on, I don't have that widget up on,
That's okay. What we might want to do is basically, I think a good example would be showing how the lead matching works. I think, do you have the Langulus site, Pat, that we can use as an example?
I do have the Langulus site. It's that one is used for quite a bit of testing. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So give me one moment here.
So what Brilliant Directories is really good at is, I think, in my opinion, among other things, is two main things. One is you can have a member or business directory. Number two is generating leads from the website visitors that come to your site and then distributing those leads for free or for purchase from your membership network. So it really works as a great tool to capture leads from the website visitors who want to contact your members and then sell them back to your members. And that might actually be your number one source of revenue from your directory website in many cases.
Correct. So are you able to see my screen, Jason?
Yes, perfectly.
All right, so what Jason is talking about is one of the techniques that I like to use the most for my directories. So even though this is in Spanish, I have a site in Costa Rica to help connect people with home renovators. Basically, it says that if you're looking to get a work done or a project done in your home, we're the place to match you to lots of providers around your area. And as you can see, over almost 20,000 people reached, 200 likes, 54 shares, a ton of comments. People really like these services where you're offering to match them to providers in their area so they can get different prices from the providers. So if you click on this, of course, where I'm driving them to is to one of my landing pages. This is the Get Match form. If you have a Brilliant Directories website, you have this page already included. You just need to add /getmatch to the URL. Essentially, this form is tied into the lead engine of the software. So if you fill this form out, and I'll go to an English version of the site, so we can use that as an example. This is exactly the same thing, which is /getmatch. So the idea being that someone from the public will fill out this form, and when they do complete the form, and they select the categories, I'm looking for an English school or I'm looking for a French school inside of France, then what it's going to do is it's going to send that lead into your lead matching engine. So all of the leads get collected here together. Essentially, you have all these different statuses that allows you to manage your leads. So I'm able to see which ones I've matched to members, which ones I've had schools accept the lead, which ones had schools try to purchase a lead or accept a lead and it was in sold out status. I find this extremely helpful because I'm able to follow up with those schools and say, hey, I see you tried to accept a lead. Here's why it was sold out. Here's what you can do to make sure that you never have a sold out lead again. Then when I'm done, everything I need to do with a lead and there's no more upsell opportunity, then I'll move them over to close. So this is a lead management system that allows you to track all of that information. So what you want to do when you're going to match a lead is you're going to go ahead and click on the match icon. And then this up here allows you to go through your database and look for schools inside of areas. So I can filter the search and say I want to see English schools in my directory. You can hit search. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah, and Denise, so those would be those categories there, like English school. Those would be the certifications that you're talking about. Those would be your categories or services that your professionals offer.
Okay, so if it would be one of my professionals one of my doctors that do the CDC program, then we would have that as a component. Would that be like a category or a subcategory?
Exactly. Yeah. So one of those would be a category or a subcategory. So the system will match a lead based on location and or the category, which is the service, usually the service requested. So that's how the system will match leads with the consumer and the professional who offers the service.
So one of the questions we get often is how do you control what shows up on this form, right? You're gonna control what data displays. You can control that in your lead settings. It's really easy to use. You don't even need to go to the form manager. This layout may be different for a lot of people watching. That's because this is with the auto matching add-on, so where you're able to have different actions and so forth. But essentially, when you click on one of these, if you scroll down, you'll see that we have form settings. So when you go to lead settings, you'll see that you have the form settings. That's referring to the form that's on the Get Matched page of your site, as well as the member contact form. So when we scroll down, this is where you're able to control what information people have to fill out. So are you going to make the location fields display? Are you going to make them required? What kind of location do you want it to be? Just the map? Only the input fields? Do you want to require categories? If you do want to require categories, do you want it to be subs, only subs? Do you want it to be only sub-subs? Do you want it to be top and subs? So you're able to easily control what information you want people to fill out before you match them to the members.
So a lot of settings, but incredibly simple at the end of the day.
Yeah, so it looks like maybe I should use that instead of the widget.
Yeah, can I take over the screen again there, Pat?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you. What I would recommend doing is first I would recommend watching this video on our website. If you go to our add-ons page, Denise, the first one here is for automatic lead matching as one of the add-ons, but every site does come with a free basic version for manual matching, and that's usually a great place to start. It has about 30% of the features of the automatic lead matching, but there is a video here, and if you watch this video, it will guide you through both the free version that comes with your site, and it'll do a comparison with the automatic lead matching. So you can make a decision on which one that you need, and then if you need help setting any of that stuff up, you know, you can request one of our website setup services or a website audit where we review your site, make sure everything's set up properly. So we do have services in place to make sure that your site is properly set up.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's very helpful.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Great question. A lot of questions about how lead matching works, and the system is just really good for lead matching, in my opinion.
Michael, you are unmuted. You had a question regarding your categories and a 404 error you're getting?
Yeah, this used to work, but now if I type my URL with /categories, I just get a 404 error. It's happening a lot with the breadcrumbs on profile pages as well. I've submitted a support request, and I think it's being looked into. But
yeah, maybe what's your website name? Maybe we could identify the problem here.
Yeah, it's weddingconnected.com.au.
So is there a specific member or category that is generating this error?
So if you just type my URL with /categories like you were showing before, this used to work, but now it gives me a 404. There's also a page for category, but it's just blank.
Okay, great. So the first thing I'm going to do is that should be a page here on your site, and it looks like it's not here anymore. It's one of your static web pages.
Okay.
Let me get that back for you.
I just couldn't find whatever the widget or whatever the code is that actually shows the categories.
No problem. So let me just create a page for you.
Yep.
And we do want to put a widget in there. Let me find out what the name of that the widget is. Let me check another site real quick, and I can get that for us. Give me one moment. We'll get that sorted for you right now, though. I know exactly.
And Jason, while you're doing that, I'll just talk to everybody else on the webinar. So normally, and Mike, and when you sent in that question, I imagine the issue was going to be a 301 redirect. That's usually the #1 cause of these 404 error pages, because what happens is you're going to change the name. Let's say you're going to change the name from 1 to 0, and then you're going to change it again from 0 to 1. You're going to create an infinity loop in terms of 301 redirect, so that times the page out. So normally, when I see a 404 page reported from one of our customers, I go to the 301 redirects page immediately. I type in the URL of that particular page, and I'd say 90% of the time, if not more, I can see the 301 redirect there, and by deleting it, it resolves that 404 error that our customers report.
Okay. Yeah.
right, so let's
Yeah, because it
see.
also happened on some of the profile pages with the breadcrumbs. That some of them don't work as well.
Okay, let's see if we can get this working here. So I created a page called Categories.
Yep.
And, okay,
Beautiful.
looks like it's, oh, you customized this?
Yeah, I did ages ago.
Okay, gotcha. Let's, do you mind if we just disable the customization you did on that?
Yeah, please do. I think your version looks better now, but
Okay.
back then.
So I'm just going to disable this for you.
And what's great about this new feature, Jason, because a lot of people watching aren't familiar, if you want to go back one page, what Jason just did, and it's a new feature, is you're able to disable a widget. In the past, you would remove it, but now by disabling it, it calls the master widget from the website. So none of that custom code you've created is lost. You can access all that work you put in the disabled widget. And if you ever want to clone from the default widget, all you need to do is clone it back to your custom widgets, and you'll be good to go.
That's right. So let's check out that categories page again. And there you go. I put a sidebar there for you too. So I did that here on this. So when on any static web page, just like I did for the sign up pages, you can actually choose a sidebar, or you can obviously create a new sidebar in your sidebar manager, and then you can flip it left or right.
Beautiful.
All right, so you're good to go. Thank you very much for the question.
Thank you.
Let's check out some questions that have been written in so far. Vanessa says, love the new updates, smiley face. Thank you so much.
There's a question here from Vanessa, Jason, I'd like to read out. And Vanessa's asking us what our thoughts are about purchasing business databases. Basically, this is a question that comes up quite a bit when people are looking to start a new directory. And when we're talking about purchasing a database, is because you're going to want to import members so that there are search results. Similar to what Jason was addressing earlier with the Google Search Assist, you want to make sure that people see results when they're searching on your website. This really depends on why you're looking to buy this database, I find, because the number one reason you're going to want to purchase a database should not be to leverage that database for sales. So as long as you're not expecting that database to be a gold mine of emails and you're thinking that is who I'm going to sell with, and you're utilizing that database just to import members, to give your website some life, to give yourself a head start, then that could be one way to go about it. But oftentimes these databases, they're not the most accurate. It depends where the source is. Sometimes the category structure can get messy. What I find works best is to go to Fiverr.com or to use a third-party assistant and to have them help you add members manually to your website to make sure that those members are current, that they have profile pictures, that they have logos. Of course, every industry is different. Everybody rolls out directories differently, but I actually like to take the time of making sure that all the members on my website have an image, have a description, have a proper category assigned to it, and most importantly, have an email that if somebody tried to contact them, I'm able to leverage that moment by reaching out to that business because I know it's a real business and try to build a business relationship. Jason, do you have any feedback for that question as well?
Yeah, so when someone starts a directory, they want it loaded with members as soon as possible, whether they've done the marketing for it or they purchase a data list. I think the only real value of importing your site with a random data that you've purchased somewhere that might be related to your industry, it helps your website appear full and resourceful, and you can utilize that when you're actually trying to contact real members and saying, look, there's data here and you belong here also. So it's a good tool to leverage to kind of show that your site is a little more established and credible. But now thinking again with this Google Search Assist, instead of hunting for data, you can just load this up and you'll have results in every single category of your site. So yeah, I think data is good. I wouldn't rely on it as a tool where I'm going to call those people and ask them to join the site. But it is good to fill up your site sometimes with a little bit of data, but you don't have to rely your entire marketing plan on that data. All right, Pat, you had someone there?
Yes, I do. I have a question from Ignacio who typed in. He said he doesn't have a mic. It's actually a pretty interesting question. He's asking, is he able to restrict top categories at sign up? This comes up quite a bit from people who want to have a membership tier. So let's say you have a tier of dentists and a tier of doctors, and you have a different pricing point. You don't want your dentists to be able to say they're doctors or vice versa. As a very simple example. There is a way that you can do that.
Yeah, it's a pretty common question, and there is a workaround. Basically, based on the membership level, they want to have the top level category pre-selected. So by default, when members join your site, that's after they put their email and password, that's when they choose their top level category. But sometimes based on the membership level, you just want to kind of automatically assign the top level category to them.
That's correct. So the way I would go ahead and do this, as you can see, we're looking at the products. So what I've done is I went into finance, managed products, and I have a membership level here that I want to do this for, let's say. So what I would do is I would click on the edit button.
Pat, I already know what you're going to do. You're a genius. I didn't even think about this before. Yeah, continue. This is great. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Jason. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead to go to the profile tab. Just give me one moment. And then on the profile tab, you can see how we have a form here. You're able to customize the contact details form for every single membership level. So you can have a sign-up page that is vendor and that is a provider that's unique for them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to create a custom contact details page form, because the contact details form is where you select that top level category. So in the toolbox, I'm going to go to the form manager, and I'm going to find the contact details form, which is right here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to want to clone this. We talked about cloning earlier in today's webinar. So I'm going to go to the actions items. I'm going to go on clone. So we're going to clone this form. I'm going to name this. I'm going to save it to my site.
You just have to give it a new form name, a form nickname, and a form variable name for that.
So I'll call this doctor, because this is going to be, I want to force doctors to say they're doctors. So I'm going to auto-select that top-level category, not giving them the opportunity to say they're anything but a doctor because they signed up as a doctor. And I'm going to change the variable name as well. I'm going to go ahead and save that form. So now I have my custom form that I created. I'm going to scroll down into where it says the top level category. I'm going to auto-select that particular category. So Jason, am I correct in the direction that I'm going here?
Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to create a hidden field for the profession ID. So you just change the field type to hidden. So because they don't need to see this, and all we need to do is get the top level category ID for doctors, and we're going to set the default value to so a good place to get this, Pat, is if you go to your member categories. Yep, there you go. And let's just randomly choose a top level category. If you hover over the members there, you should be able to see in the URL the profession equals in the URL there that you're hovering. At the bottom of the screen.
It's in this case it says profession equals 1.
Okay, so that's the ID for the profession. So go back to your form there and just set the default value to 1.
Okay.
And all you have to do now is default value is 1. It's a hidden field, so as soon as the doctor saves their contact information with their name, it's automatically going to assign them to profession ID 1, which is the top level category. And there's nothing else you need to do. And now you just need to make sure in the manage products that you assign this form as their contact details form. And we should show you what it looks like on the front end, actually. So we'll log in as a member here in just a moment. So if you go to profile, it's going to ask you which form to use when the person is filling out their contact details form. So you can go ahead and choose the doctor one you just created, Pat. Perfect. So go ahead and let's save the changes, and let's log in as this member here. And you can just click on the number 1. That'll show us all the members there, and we'll log in as that member. And if we go to their contact details, I see you've translated the site in Spanish. So you're not seeing it there, but there is a hidden field there for doctor. And once they save their changes, they'll automatically be assigned to the doctor top level category. And that's it, basically. So we say that's it, but a little bit of editing in the form manager, but you're basically going to choose that a certain membership level is automatically assigned to a top level category ID, and that will assign those members to that top level category by default. That's a really good kind of higher level question, but it's a very common thing that people want to do that, and that's a super workaround there. It just takes a minute to do, and you don't really need to do any coding. You just need to set up the form field correctly. So great question, Ignacio, there. All right, guys, so here's a wake-up call for everyone that has a website. Google now requires sites to be HTTPS secure. I'm just going to do a Google search here. So here, Google is requiring HTTPS. Google will soon call out sites that are not secure. So basically, what that means is, let me go to a site that is secure. I think our blog is secure, blog at brilliantdirectories.com. So you can see the difference here. See how we have a security lock here? It basically means the site is protected and encrypted from, when there's credit card transactions or passwords are being transferred. So users will see this this green lock, which you've seen many times when you check out on a pricing on a checkout page. And Colette, I would recommend that you get your site secure, because this is just something that browsers are doing now. Your site will perform normally, but this is just a warning to the website visitor. It also affects your Google rankings as well. So what we've done actually in the Brilliant Directories dashboard is, if you come to your dashboard, you'll be able to scroll down and check out your website resources. And if your website is not secure, you'll see a little badge here that says website unsecure, and you can purchase security with Brilliant Directories right here. And we'll monitor your website. We'll make sure the maintenance of the security is up to date and all the pages are working properly. So this is slowly becoming something, it is optional, but it's almost mandatory if you care about your Google search results. So you guys can come on over to your Brilliant Directories dashboard, and if you have a green icon here, I think it's a per year pricing. You just pay once per year and your website will be secure, and you'll have a nice green security lock here, and your site will actually be secure for your users when they're submitting emails and passwords and credit card information.
Jason, what I like most about having your website secure is Brilliant Directories does a great job of giving everybody a secure payment page. So if we go to the site that doesn't have the SSL and we go to join as a member, what Brilliant Directory does for everybody is we redirect to a secure page, but that's on securemypayment.com. When you get an SSL for your website, you're able to keep the web user on your website. When people are directed to a third-party web page in order to give credit card details, especially nowadays with the importance on security, oftentimes people will get to the checkout page, but they're not going to convert and give those credit card details because they're not familiar with the URL they've been directed to. So while I find Brilliant Directories did a great job with a workaround for people that don't have an SSL, if you're open for business and you're really looking to get people to sign up on your site, getting that SSL will keep them on your URL throughout the entire process.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Colette. Great question there.
All right. Okay, Miriam, I have unmuted your mic as promised. How can we help you?
Yes, hi. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Jason. I just had a question about the Get Matched form. Is there any way to get matched to several categories? If you go to my website, it's another wedding website, and when somebody wants to get matched, they want to get matched to several vendors in different categories. But I think, as is, you can only request one service at a time. Is that correct?
That is the default functionality of the Get Matched form. We have had customers have it where there's check boxes of all the different services, and they check all the boxes, and only members that meet all of those criteria get matched. That is a customization for the get match form, but Jason's going to show you basically what it would look like. You're able to select them like that. So you see how all the check marks are showing on multiple categories at once? Only members that have, is it members that have all of those, Jason, or that have one of those?
But that's not the purpose. The purpose is, for example, if somebody wants several services, let's say they want a photographer, but they also want a wedding cake, and they also want a venue, so that they could request recommendations for all those categories, which would be going to different members. Is that a possibility or no?
No, that's outside of the scope of the general scope of the get match form. They're one-off requests. So I'm either looking for somebody that's going to help me with wedding cakes or with decorations. So they would have to submit multiple times. What you can do is you can have after they do the submission of the form, you can have the page that they go to afterwards. You can redirect them to basically a thank you page, letting them know, are you looking for more wedding services? Search again, and they start the process again. So you can make it easy for them within a single loop to just keep submitting the form. That'd be the fastest way to kind of accomplish what you're looking to do.
Okay, and would they have to enter their information over and over again in that kind of a loop?
They would have to do that over and over again.
I see. Okay, I understand that. On SSL certificate, I'm not getting, I mean, I'm not, you know, all my membership is paid outside of the system. Do you still recommend getting that SSL certificate? Is that going to help with SEO and
Yes, it does, because Google is requiring, I just did the search again, because Google is requiring it. Let's say you had two equal sites and one had SSL and one didn't. Google will eventually rank the site with SSL higher than the site without SSL. So in any competitive industry, especially, you know, party planning vendors, you really need every advantage you can to go against the big guys in a way.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate your help.
You're great. Great question. No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Jason, that basically gets us to the 7:30 mark.
Perfect. All right. Well, what a great webinar Wednesday. I want to remind everyone of the deal of the week. It's a pre-order for the Google Search Assist. It's an awesome add-on to any website. It just ensures that you have search results. Our contest winner from last week, Gregory Campisi, just email support to claim your prize. And the contest of the week this week, right after this webinar, go to LinkedIn and type in, I'm using Brilliant Directories to power my membership website, and we'll choose a random winner next week. We'll do our best to get these replays online as quickly as possible. And also don't forget, after this webinar, you can register for next week's webinar. And again, we'll do our best to get to everyone's questions.
And we appreciate everybody's compliments in the chat. Thank you very much for sending us positive vibes, and looking forward to next week's webinar.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. See you next week.